Hello traders, good afternoon. Okay, so I'm having some bandwidth issues, so I won't be able to do a live session. But what I'll be doing is I'll be recording this session. I'll be uploading it on YouTube. So with that, so today is the 11th of October. Current time is 5:30 p.m. IST, and man, like what an amazing day again today was. Today I would say, okay, so today is episode 19, and before I share my market analysis, just to share a quick disclaimer that trading involves substantial risk, and all the information which I'm sharing is for educational purposes only, and it cannot be used for any sort of a trade related activity. So with that, let me quickly go to the Nifty chart, and I'll share what is happening in the Nifty. So this is what I was looking at. So yesterday, if you see, it is more of an inside bar. We are having a sort of an inside bar, and there was very less confidence in terms of where the auction is gonna go. So what I was actually looking at is, so this was my, these are some of my reference levels. So we had this over high. Uh, we also have a low, and also if you see, this low is exactly at this single print. So this low is exactly at the single print, so basically this single print. So this is what I was looking at. So first of all, one more thing which I would like to share is we have this 45-degree angle. So this is nothing but, today what we saw here is nothing but a firecracker effect. So in the C, in the D, in the E period, we are seeing nothing but is something called like a firecracker effect, which Jim Dalton always shares. Okay, so what happened today is, so this is today's open. As soon as the open was within yesterday's range, and so this is where the rejection was seen, I immediately took a long trade targeting this poor high. So that was the first target, and the second target was the this 2-day high. So this was easily achieved in the first period. Then what happened is I was seeing a sort of exhaustion at this level. Also, I was monitoring this particular level because this is where sellers would be stepping in, and that's exactly what happened today in the Nifty. So I shared today. If you check my website, or if you check the if you check my the channel, so this is what I shared is on Telegram is, so there was a sort of an exhaustion scene, followed by a red bar. So an exhaustion was seen from the order flow chart. So what you could have done is, so Nifty was just trading in this zone. So you could have, so once the auction reaches here, or the auction goes below this level, this is where there were two good trade location. So this at this level is where an exhaustion, or an exhaustion is seen, and sellers started stepping in. Once the auction came below this, so somewhere at this level is where I entered. So 11,360 is where I entered for shorts. So that is what I was looking from the order flow chart. So I honestly, to say that I did not expect that we will be getting a big firecracker effect. But what I was expecting is that it will be a slow and steady movement. Once it reaches this point of control, and then we will be seeing a sharp move. So that is what I was anticipating, or that is what my thought process was. But markets actually proved me wrong again. So we had this sharp downfall, then the sharp D period. So C and D were sharp, and when the auction came back below the yesterday's range, that this is also good trade location to go long. So targeting the highs. So this did not reach today's high, but this was a good trade location and a good activity which happened. Again, I'll tell you the reason why for going long is, if you see, we have a sort of excess. So this is the yesterday's low, and this was a pretty sharp move, and the auction again moved back up, and it was just trailing, and it was just balancing here, which indicates that yes, this is a sort of excess. This is a sort of excess, and you can take a long trade here, keeping a stop loss of yesterday's low. So if the auction reaches yesterday's low, then you can reverse your position for shorts targeting the today's low. So this scenario did not happen, but actually the auction was just trailing. So this would be your stop loss, and you could have made again a good money, trading on the long side. So today I had a good day, both from the long and from the short side. Also, I traded this long trade. So Nifty, I think it was pretty good trade, and I did not expect that we will be having so much of whipsaw or so much of movement today. So this is what I was looking at in the Nifty. Let me quickly jump to the Bank Nifty chart. So in Bank Nifty, what I was looking at is, so yesterday again was an inside bar. So what is happening at the lows, what is happening at the highs. So these were some of the references which I was monitoring, and also the volatility is also increasing day by day. So let me quickly jump to the market profile chart, and these are some of the areas which I was monitoring. That is yesterday's high, yesterday's low, and if you see, this is the open of today in the Bank Nifty, and what happened is it moved sharply above, and there was a sort of rejection seen at the highs. So this gives a confirmation that the confidence is shifting for the sellers and indicating high selling confidence. So once the auction reached below the yesterday's high, that's a good trade location to go short. So this is what the context I'm talking of so basically understanding the overall context, and when you have to enter the trade is today VSA chart beautifully showed us a very good entry. So this is the HVN level, where a sort of rejection or a sell signal generated. So what you could have done is, if you are a fast trader, you could have shorted here targeting the highs, or else you just have waited for the auction to move below the VWAP. So these were two trade locations, for taking the short trade, targeting the yesterday's low. So this was achieved. Now what happened is, once the auction came back again, so once the auction tagged the yesterday's low, so this is what happened. A sort of sideways balancing activity was happening, and there were two opportunities to take a long trade, targeting the VWAP first. So this was also again a good trade location. So one short, one long. Again, you can take one more short trade targeting the lows, but this did not happen. So this is how you should trade. If you understand the context right, then only you'll be able to make this plan your trades, or plan your trades, or trading planning very well. Now let me quickly go to the Reliance chart. And Reliance, what is happening today is more sort of a balancing activity, and we are forming in a we are in a two-way balance. One more thing is, this was also a big balance, and right now it broke above the balance, and we are seeing a sort of follow through from the higher side. So yesterday, the reason for getting this big spike is because of a new sentiment of Geo charging some 6 paisa per minute for the calls which are being made to other telecom operators. So that is the reason why, so this will actually add around 13.5 crore additional revenue, and that is why we saw this big spike. So what were your monitoring references today in Reliance would be the spike base, the highs. So what happened is, yesterday we had a poor high, so I was anticipating this high to get cleared and then the auction to come down, but it did not happen. But what we saw here is, we are seeing a rejection at the prominent point of control. So there were this three times, the auction tried to move higher and lower, but there was a sort of balancing activity which was happening, and then we saw this sharp decline, and it went below the below the P shape, and it tried to enter the yesterday's day before yesterday's range, this range, and then we saw sort of buyers stepping in. The reason why buyers are stepping in is, whoever missed yesterday's rally, this is where they were trying to build in their positions, targeting this poor high. So if you are long in the Reliance, then this should be your first exit from the positional point of view. So that is what I looked at Reliance. From volume profile charts also, there were a couple of good trade entries which were seen in Reliance. So this is the high, and this is where we saw sort of exhaustion happening. Once it reached below the VWAP, that's where it's a good opportunity to trade for the shorts. So then when this happened, so this was a pretty good move targeting this. targeting this responsive buying happening. So again, buyers started stepping in, and then again the options again started moving higher, and it also tagged the HVM. So this is the thought process for, my thought process for trading in Reliance. Now moving to crude. So in crude, what is happening is, I shared that this is where, sellers are, moving away and buyers are stepping in. Also, if you see, we are in a sort of 5-day balance, and today we broke above the balance, and we need to see this continuation. And also today there is this new sentiment of some bombing in Iran, Iran regarding the oil field. So due to this, maybe this spike is happening. That is because of the new sentiment, is what I'm getting a feeling. So what is happening in crude oil is, in the overnight session is, so this is today's overnight session, and this is yesterday's US session. So what I'm seeing in crude oil is, we are forming multiple P shapes. So this was a balance. So we had a B shape followed by a P shape, and today is again a P shape. So value is building higher, indicating good sign, by a good sign or the good option development process done from the buyer's perspective. Also, there are some key reference areas, which are not being tagged, which are which will be carry forwarded. So do have a look at 3740, 3780, because right now what is happening is the auction is just balancing out. So if we see any sort of exhaustion and sellers started stepping in at the value area high, then first target is this spike base, then second is this HVN. So, and third target is this prominent point control, and fourth target is the fourth prominent point control. So this is what I'm expecting. So mark the highs, mark the lows. This is the current point of control. So auction is right now below the point of control, indicating that sellers are stepping in, and they are trying to take out all these anomalies or all these single prints. So if you are entering short, target to exit at this single print level. On a safer side, if you're a very safe trader like me, who is trading with very limited capital. And this can be your stop loss, this AP, this current period high, or the previous period high. So that is what, how that is should be your trade plan, and just monitor the point of control, whether it is migrating lower or whether it is just balancing, as it will help you to gauge or help you to judge your risk of going short is good, is less, is high. So that's how you should manage your risk. Uh, So with that, I would like to say thank you, and would request you to please do like my video and subscribe to my channel, and also please do feel free to share your comments and feedback, and do let me know whether the initiative which I'm doing is helping you guys, and making it easy for you to understand the market profile. So with that, again, thank you, and bye for now.